I don't quite have them as a top 4 team, but if they continue to show the pace, forget winning or not winning, just the pace to run consistently in the top 5. If that shows up, I might have to change my mind.
Hey race fans, welcome into another episode of Backseat Drivers. Following the NASCAR Cup Series race at Richmond Raceway this weekend, I'm Alex Weaver here on the table, joined by NBC Sports and our crew chief here at the table, Steve Letarte, and our resident analyst, Mamba Smith. We're going to break down everything that we saw at Richmond. 2 weeks left now in this regular season, and it's just starting to heat up, really. Kevin Harvick gets his 60th career win in the NASCAR Cup Series, and what better way to tell them that they don't know you than to win back-to-back. Here's what Happy had to say after winning at Richmond.
I mean, the cars have been running good week in and week out, and you see that we have a lot better understanding of what's going on with how we did adjust it on the car after the first run, and we're able to get our car handling a lot better. And I think as it got dark, the racetrack really came to our Mobil 1 Ford Mustang. So just got to thank Mobil, Busch Light, Gear Wrench, Hunt Brothers, Ream Ford, Xfinity, Morton Buildings, Easy Go, everybody who helps at Stewart-Haas Racing on this 4-car.
All right, so as we get into these debates, remember that you can text Steve or Mamba to 31032. Disagree, agreed, want to talk to them, tell them they're the worst, tell them they're the best, whatever you want to say.
I don't get many bests. I got a lot of worst and a lot of disagrees. I kind of like it that way.
I got a lot of people inviting me to dinner now.
Really?
Yeah. Because,
free meal?
Well, I went over to Delana and Kevin's a couple weeks ago, and now they haven't lost since. So text me if you want to win.
We'll see.
It was only that easy.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, a dinner with Mamba may get you into the championship 4 if he keeps having dinner over there. So is Kevin Harvick in your championship 4? Did we awake the beast in the garage, Letarte?
I don't have him there yet. I'll say yet. Listen, it's impressive. What Kevin Harvick has done the last 2 weeks is really, really impressive. Going 0 for 65 takes an emotional toll on a driver, a team, a crew chief. This is a team that's been together really since 2014 when Rodney and Kevin Harvick showed up, and they have been on fire since. We knew there'd be a dip. There always is in every relationship, but to come out the other side always kind of impresses me. That's a long grind, but I don't quite have them as a top 4 team. Really just because of the run of the playoffs, right? I don't have Martinsville as their best track, and we have Texas, some other opportunities there, but if they continue to show the pace, forget winning or not winning, just the pace to run consistently in the top 5. If that shows up, I might have to change my mind, but right now, I have them round of 8 probably. Best they're going to get.
All right, Mamba, he is 2 wins in. He's officially locked into the playoffs, so we know he'll be in the field of 16, obviously, but how far does Kevin Harvick go?
I got to go with Steve. I have a hard time before we get into the playoffs naming my top 4 complete, because we just know the ebbs and flows of the playoffs, that someone that you didn't think was going to be there is going to be in the Final 4. Now that could very well be Kevin Harvick, but that team seems to have they got their swagger back, the whole building. That place runs off of success. It very much does. All 4 teams, if one car is winning, everyone feels like they're winning. That's just how Stewart-Haas Racing is connected as an entire group, all 400 people. And so them winning now with the 4, they won earlier the 14 and they felt really good. And then they went through that long stretch of just not really running all that great. And now that their guy, the leader of their team, Kevin Harvick, is getting back in victory lane, it's only better for that whole organization. And this is kind of like Tom Brady, Bill Belichick. You can't pick. You're not gonna pick against them.
Yeah.
Right. Rodney Childers, Kevin Harvick, dynamic duo, walking Hall of Famers. You don't choose. You don't pick against them on purpose.
Steve, when it comes to just the team and the organization as a whole, when you're winning, it builds momentum and it has you kind of think, okay, there's a chance we can make a run here. So the momentum going into the playoffs now for the 4 team, is that going to help?
After Michigan, we had some time to talk to Kevin Harvick a week ago before Richmond, and he was very bullish on, hey, I know you guys can't see it where we're running, but we've turned the corner. Our Fords are better than they have been. He goes, the only thing that happened at Michigan is we got very fortunate, that kind of track position went our way, and then they did what they had to do and they won the race. Then at Richmond, and the reason why I'm impressed with this win, there were a lot of blue ovals in the top 10. SHR in general, the 14 car had a good car until he had to pit for the miscellaneous fire, right? The 10 was crazy fast, drove from 30th inside the top 10. So I think the organization had pace. So it's not surprising that when the organization is good, Kevin's the best.
Right.
The question is, can the organization be good enough for 10 weeks?
Well, he sealed the deal, 2 wins. He is officially in the playoffs. Kevin Harvick in the 4-car. We will see you at Darlington as we kick off the playoffs in 2 weeks. All right, well, another driver who is still looking to secure that spot. He has no wins on the 2022 season. However, he finished 3rd at Richmond. He was runner-up at Sonoma. He was 6th at Road America. The reason I'm saying road courses for the last 2 is because guess where we're going next week? Watkins Glen. And the 17 of Chris Buescher has had his 2nd top 5 finish, which is tying the most ever he's had in a season. And he just wants to make it in the playoffs. Is Chris Buescher finding his way into the playoffs? He is 286 points below the elimination line, so we got to win.
Chris Buescher into the playoffs. I'm gonna go with yeah.
So you have him winning one of the next 2 weeks?
Yeah. Which one exactly? I'm not really sure, because when we went to Daytona the first time, RFK had a lot of pace. They obviously won both the dual races, and then his road course racing has been on point the last couple weeks. And I was just talking about swagger with Kevin Harvick and Stuart Haas. Chris Buescher has a little bit of pep in his step. That his post-race interview I thought was great. And you could see the confidence that he has in what they're doing and what he's doing as a driver. And I love that they stuck with Chris Buescher. I love that when they made this transfer to Keselowski being over there too, they weren't like, oh, let's just reshuffle the whole deck. No, they kept this guy who's an Xfinity champion, knows how to win races, and he's showing that the right time, the right people around him, he can be competitive week in and week out.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I'm going to flip it. I'm going to say no, but I'm going to double down with not only does Chris Buescher not going to make the playoffs, but he doesn't need to. The rebuilding of Roush, which is now RFK, is not a 1-year rebuilding. It's not a 2-year rebuilding. This is going to be a long, continual grind for Roush to return to the 2005 prominence that put all those cars into the playoffs. And Chris Buescher has been committed to by his owner and teammate Brad Keselowski in the media. When Kyle Busch's name comes up, nope, Chris is our guy. Mm-hmm. He is proving that he outruns his teammate most weeks. He's up front most weeks. He is going to win races in this car. I just don't think it's going to be in the next 2. We've seen it with Bubba. We've seen it with other guys. He did win a race at Pocono in the weather. But I believe to win and win consistently, you have to be there. You can have all the tools in the world, all the simulation in the world. You need to roll off turn 4, come into the restart zone with a champ to your left, a champ behind you, a 60-race winner 2 rows back, and you have to figure out what moves, what chess match in the next 10 seconds you're going to make to be the leader. You don't normally get that right the first time. That, I think, is going to be the issue for Chris Buescher. But I think his stock, which was perhaps on the buy or on the sell side, is now a buy. Everybody believes in Chris Buescher, and good for him. He doesn't need to win, but he's not going to. It's a great storyline. It's a stretch.
Does Chris Buescher believe in Chris Buescher? Here's what he had to say following his 3rd place finish at Richmond on Sunday.
At the beginning of the year, we didn't fire off as good as we thought. We didn't have the improvement, and it took us a few months, but we've had 3 or maybe 4 months now of really solid runs. Really good speed ever since Dover. Really, that we've been really close. We've had some bad luck, had some mistakes that I got to clean up. We've made progress through all of it. The results don't always show it. We were running really well at the 600, and we ended up upside down. There's no doubt in my mind we could have competed for a win at the Indy Road Course, and we were on fire. We're making highlight reels for all the wrong reasons. So we've been fast in those processes, though. We just have to put it all together to show those results like we did here today.
Well, Kevin Harvick talks about enjoy the up with Steve Letarte over here, but Chris Buescher, we're making highlight reels for all the wrong reasons. So, Steve, you don't think that it matters that just keep building on what you got?
He said it. We talk about the format. We focus on the playoffs because the fans focus on the playoffs, and they should, right? Sports are about the postseason. The postseason where every team wants to be when the season kicks off in February. But you have to ask yourself, when RFK rolled 2 cars off the truck at Daytona, did they really believe in their hearts they were going to send 2 or 1 to the postseason? I don't believe so. I think the mantra in that team is, guys, Brad is here. We have a new feeling, a new look. I'm telling you, their equipment's cleaner, their shop's cleaner, their energy's different. This is a team, we're trying to turn the Titanic. This isn't a canoe. Right. And it's going to take a long time, and I think they have successfully started to change course. A playoff isn't necessary. If they win, great. That's great. It's unnecessary. And you almost heard it from Chris. Hey, I know the format doesn't make 3rd feel good, but I'm going to feel good about it, even though you guys may not.
Yeah.
I'm with Chris on this. He's on the up, too. Look, now it's be happy with Harvick and Chris.
You got a tweet from LeBron, so
That's pretty up. I mean, not many people get that, but I think that he is on the up. I'm with you. I think he should enjoy it, and you should enjoy top 5s. You should enjoy top 10s because this is the hardest form of stock car racing in the world right here, and some of the best drivers in the world. But I also think that they are going forward thinking that they have a shot, and I feel like they have a really good shot. If I was them, with what we have Watkins Glen and Daytona. Daytona, they rolled off the truck, to your point, and they almost swept the entire weekend. They were so fast. I think they're going for it. And I can't wait to see how the next 2 weeks transpire for the 17.
All right, well, the concern level over there at Joe Gibbs Racing may not be high for your internal in the organization because you have 3 cars locked in the playoffs. So if you look at it from the outside looking in, what are we concerned about? I'm not going to read off the finishing positions of Kyle Busch, and Christopher Bell is looking like the fastest car over there at Joe Gibbs Racing. So, Stevie, what's your level of concern over there at Joe Gibbs heading into the playoffs?
So I don't have concern, and this is why. The toughest thing to find in all of NASCAR is speed, and when I look at Joe Gibbs Racing and the Toyotas, they have it. They flew at Michigan, not great execution. They were good enough to win at Richmond. Poor execution on pit road. I think Denny Hamlin has a real shot. He was in front of Christopher Bell before the final pit stop. They have an issue on pit road, which is it. You know the concern at Joe Gibbs Racing? It's the pit crew. Now, the crew chief in me, the competition guy in me, is going to be super unpopular, but right now they're not good on pit road because they're trying to have 6 equal pit crews, 2 at 2311 and 4 at Joe Gibbs Racing. Well, here in a couple weeks, 6 cars aren't making the playoffs. So I love Bubba Wallace. If he's unfortunately not possible to make the playoffs or doesn't win his way in, just got a contract extension. I'm going to go to him and say, Bubba, we believe in you. You're our guy. You know we're our guy. But we are going to rearrange all the pit crews to stack the deck on our playoff cars. That is a good corporate decision, regardless of how popular or unpopular it may be. And for that reason, Mamba, I don't have concern because right now I think the 11 can win if he can just get on and off pit road. I think the 20, they used to have the pit crew issues. They've kind of resolved them. He's cycling to the front. And Kyle Busch, I think whatever the news is, the 18, another car in the garage, if I am coach, I'm just trying to get that resolved to any position by the first race of play, even if he's leaving. Because as cold as it sounds, even if we're leaving, right, it's like, hey, it didn't work out. We appreciate everything. We got 10 more races together. Let's make them special. And I think that will be a weight lifted off Kyle Busch, whatever the decision is, and then he'll go back to being Kyle Busch. So,
to Steve's point, they're fast. The cars are fast, so like your concern level isn't about like trying to go from 25th to the top 10. They're already there. That's not the problem. But you said it a couple times. Execution, I think you just used that word 3 times. That's my concern. Like, so before it was a speed thing earlier in the year. Now it's like, okay, now we're fast, but how do we put the whole race together? The 18 can barely keep the car running in the straight line because he's always turned around, it seems like. The 11 can't get out down pit road or out of the pit box without something happening, it feels like. The 20, they're just staying steady, right? They're steadily moving through. Then the 19 is where they're at. They're on the outside looking in. You got the 45, but we don't know what's going on with Kurt. And you got Bubba who's trying to get in as well. So I'm not concerned about their speed, but my concern level is moderate as far as can we put a whole race together throughout the whole playoffs, because you got to be good, to your point, for 10. You definitely got to be good for 9, because you got to at least give yourself a shot at Phoenix.
All right, well, it's freezing cold in the studio. Everybody behind the cameras also said that they're shivering, and it's appropriate this week because the Iceman is at Watkins Glen. It really is cold in the studio. But Kimi Räikkönen is going to hop in the car for technically Trackhouse Racing. It's this new project that Justin Marks and that organization have started over there for Trackhouse to bring in some outside talent to possibly run a third car in certain races. And the first one, it was announced months ago that Kimi Räikkönen from the F1 champion, the world champ, is going to hop in the car for Watkins Glen. So, Mamba, will he finish in the top 10?
Top 15, I think that he's a talent, right? I think that if Ty Gibbs can run where he's ran in his few cup starts beyond road courses, I think there's no reason why Kimi Räikkönen can't. When Kimi ran the truck race, I was shocked at how well he did in that because that's a completely different animal than what he's ever raced before. This is more, at least technically speaking, the moves you make are more similar, I feel like he'll come in and he'll compete. It'll be cool to watch.
If you kept up on social media, Kimi did hop inside of the car at VIR and did a driver acclimation test.
Yeah,
Speak
let's
on
explain
that.
Yeah, so listen, if you're Kimi Räikkönen, Mike Rockenfeller had the same opportunity. These are global stars who have found championships in worldwide series. You're not going to come run in NASCAR and only get 15 minutes of practice. You're not going to take your name, your likeness, your imaging, your fan base, and come be so far out of water that you don't think you have a chance. So NASCAR created this opportunity using, talking to all the owners, where Kimi went to go run a car prepared by Action Express, an IMSA team, had nothing to do with Trackhouse Racing. It wasn't even a Chevrolet, to be quite honest. This is a team. This is a car that NASCAR owns. It's just a handful of laps to brake and shift. You don't change springs. You don't try to go fast. You want Kimi to go feel what the car feels like in real life for a handful of laps, so then all his prep on the simulator is more accurate, just because it's not an advantage, because I'm going to double down and say there's no way Kimi Räikkönen ends up in the top 10, and that's not because Kimi's not good enough. Right. It's because everyone else is so good. I think we underestimate, and I'm going to use the same Ty Gibbs example. So Ty Gibbs was fine at Pocono, but until the chaos at Indianapolis, our 19-year-old superstar on Saturday that single-handedly runs in the top 2 or 3 of every road course race was tongue hanging out, running 25th in the Cup race, thinking these guys are good. Yeah. And now, listen, if Kimi had the Joey Hand approach, where he had 5 road courses to get it figured out, do I think Kimi and Trackhouse Equipment could cycle up into the top 5, top 10, be a contender? I absolutely do. He's a world champ, right? It's just, man, it's a lot. Right, a stock car and everything else in the world is very, very, very different. I think it is closer than it's ever been with sequential shifting, the bigger brakes. The other thing is I actually think Watkins Glen hurts him because I think it's the least technical road course we have. It's very fast, it's very sweeping, and I think it brings more players in the NASCAR world. There are better road course drivers there than they are at, say, Road America or some of the other places. Well, we all watched Indianapolis, right? The 5 wide into turn 1. When they drop the green with 4 to go at Watkins Glen and they're 5 wide over the curb, Kimi's going to be like, what is this? Like, where are you? You're not on that's not the racetrack. No, we're going to use that out there. Like, and we should celebrate. It's very different. But hey, I'm thankful he's there. It's great. It's going to be awesome to cover. I'm excited to call his action from the booth. But he won't be in the top 10. And we should all celebrate that because that's how good of a field we have every single Sunday.
And if I'm Kimi, I'm calling up my man AJ Allmendinger and be like, hey, bud, you guys, you have some experience in what I've driven. What do I need to think? Like, what do I need to get ready for? AJ's the winningest road course racer in NASCAR, so that's where I would call Kimi.
Well, and the advantage that Kimi does have is when he goes to the sim, Suarez won Sonoma, Chastain won Coda. So when he says, hey, I'm feeling this, they can say, hey, don't worry about that. That's the sim. We haven't quite that figured out. I'm feeling this. Oh, yeah, you need to worry about that because that's what it's going to feel like. They're going to be able to do a lot of that. So do I think he'll be fast? Yes. It's just the racing side. NASCAR doesn't quite race like most other series. It's a smidge aggressive.
Well, if you're a motorsports fan, it's going to be pretty cool to see a F1 world champion in a stock car on Sunday. And all I have to say to that, Lewis Hamilton, your move. We're waiting.
Well, and listen, I hope he has a good time. I don't care where he runs. What I want is Kimi to get out of the car, be a little frustrated he wasn't better than he thought he should have been, and say, that was a blast, I want to do it again. Yeah. If that happens on Sunday, wherever he finishes, check the box, come on over. Everyone, it's going to be great.
Aren't they on their summer break right now or something? Like, we keep the schedule the same. Lewis, come on over, bud.
We're just saying. We're ready. We're waiting. Okay, Backseat Bets presented by BetMGM. These are all Watkins Glen head-to-heads, and we were even reading these before we started filming. There's some pretty good matchups this week. So first up, we are riding the momentum train with the 4 of Kevin Harvick, and then we're also going to the driver who is right now the last driver in the playoffs. Mamba, you want to kick this one off? Ryan Blaney versus Kevin Harvick.
Mamba and I both take Ryan Blaney. I'm going to take Ryan Blaney. I know Mamba's going to take Ryan Blaney. So I'm not even going to let Mamba's pick. Look, it's going to be Ryan Blaney versus Kevin Harvick for the simple fact that Kevin Harvick will tell you that he's not the best at the road courses. They've won a couple races. He's going to have a fun time. Matter of fact, if I'm Rodney Childers, I probably call a strategy to try to win a stage and forget the end of the race and just try to get one more playoff point now that I know I'm locked in. So I'm going to take Ryan Blaney for the win because I think Kevin Harvick is going to not have the right strategy, and we know you're taking Ryan Blaney. So, am I wrong?
No, everything you
Okay.
said was great.
There you go.
3 for 3, YRB. Next up, Tyler Reddick in the 8 versus Chase Elliott in the 9. It's a road course, and they both.
Why are you looking at my?
good road
I don't
courses. I
put
already
notes
have
down.
mine
She's
circled,
trying to
guys.
steal
I
my
don't
picks.
have mine circled. Who you got, Stevie?
I'm going Chase Elliott. Tyler Reddick got the best of him, and I think Tyler Reddick is going to run very good again. It's not a question of talent. I just think that the 9 car, Watkins Glen, pretty straightforward, and Chase has gotten better. He's been right there in a couple of road courses. I got Chase Elliott looking to have a big day at the Glen.
Who you got? Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick?
I got Tyler Reddick.
Oh, you're picking. We're back to picking him.
Yeah. No, I stopped picking him. He got
He
2
won.
wins, and now I can pick him again.
Okay.
Now, did you go to dinner with him too?
No, but I did see him at Kilter Buffalo before.
So you kind of win.
We had a couple of brewskis.
Okay, that's fair.
So there's something to it, guys. You like hang out, you know. What?
I haven't won a race yet. I've been hanging out with you a lot, so.
Well, you haven't raced a race yet either.
That's true. I'm going with the 9 and Chase Elliott. Chris Buescher versus Michael McDowell. We obviously talked about Chris earlier in the show. Michael McDowell has also put together some pretty strong runs, and we always name his name when it comes to road courses. Who you got?
I got Buescher. I just think momentum is on his side, and he's feeling really good about it. They ran really well here as of late, and 34 is kind of fallen off a little bit, so we're going that way.
I'm going to take Buescher, but you're going to have to run inside like the top 6 or 7 to outrun this duo, which is great. I think both these guys are going to run good, but I agree. I think Buescher's, he's good. He's showing me everything he needs to show me. I think he's going to run really good. Not winning good enough, but definitely beating McDowell good enough.
It's a full moon. We're all agreeing on everything.
Oh,
Chris
that's
Buescher
not good.
again. And then the 2 rookies, Todd Gilliland versus Harrison Burton.
This is the hardest pick on the sheet.
Yeah, I don't even know.
It really is.
Who wants to start?
There you go.
I'm going to take Harrison Burton in survival.
Damn it! I should have just took him.
I think Harrison Burton, I think Todd's going to be faster, but I think in the end it's going to be survival, and I think Harrison Burton, I think the same thing that's going to make him outrun Todd Gilliland at Watkins Glen is what's costing him positions this year. He kind of tiptoes into it, gets up to speed. There is no tiptoeing in. 36 guys cannonball into lap 1. So it's going to help him at the craziness of the road course, but I think he needs to get a little bit more cannonball-esque at some of the ovals if he wants to try to get off, maybe outside. Right now he runs like 25th, 27th. I think he's better than that. You just have to have, I'll call it a little Ross Chastain in you. You got to kind of do a little pushing and shoving, and I think Harrison is still just a little too nice.
I'm going HB too, but mainly because his resources, everything that he has around him is it's quite a bit better than 38. So I think that will get him up to speed, and he'll be up front, or at least in front of the 38.
Just for the sole purpose of not agreeing on literally every matchup this week, I'm going to go Todd Gilliland. Why not?
Now, I will say, if you want to get into a fight, I'm taking Todd Gilliland, because I went and saw him in Indianapolis. That is a big young man.
He is.
Like, you don't know this.
He is a big boy, but I think
Not fat, TG.
yeah.
No,
He's big.
Oh, no, I'm taking Todd. Long reach.
Okay. Harrison's been in the gym though. He's
Saying. It's going to be good.
Jeff, we'll let you have him.
I got
Jeff
I got
Burton
your back.
versus Steve Letarte in the booth. WWE matchup.
Cage match. Winner take all.
Where are we going
Jeff
for?
Burton
Where are we
was
going for
scrappy.
dinner after? I mean, come on. I mean, please.
All right, Watkins Glen is this Sunday. It is the eve of the regular season finale. This is the next to last race in the regular season before we head to Daytona, which could ensue all craziness. But Watkins Glen is the super speedway of road courses, so it's going to be a challenge for the NASCAR Cup Series. Who's your winning pick? Victory Lane on Sunday.
Christopher Bell.
Oh.
The variety at the road course continues. He's been close. He's won at the Daytona road course back years ago. He can road course race. The Toyotas have been awful. They have put full-blown effort. They are sick of being slow at the road courses. I think it's a surprise winner in Christopher. Now it's a surprise pick, but I take Christopher Bell.
Are you going to stick with that on Sunday when you make your picks on Countdown to Green?
Probably not. Actually, I'm already going to tell you who I'm going to take on Sunday. I can tell you that I already have that pick too.
How does that work? How is it on Monday you pick Christopher Bell, on Sunday you're not going to pick?
It's Christopher Bell on Monday, and it's Chase Briscoe on Sunday. I'm going to tell you right now who I'm going to take on Sunday.
That's a pretty good.
Can't wait to tweet him.
Yeah. I'm going to go with AJ Allmendinger if I'm going to pick some of my pick that doesn't affect the playoffs.
Okay.
My pick that does affect the playoffs.
This is Jeff Burton answer.
No, it's not. It's not. It's out of the same camp though. I'm going on a limb with Justin Haley.
Oh.
You know, so
Going out on a limb.
let's
It's not that far as a limb as you think it is.
It isn't. It isn't. Matter of fact, there or Daytona.
I just had to take a look at the points where he was. I'm like, oh, that
We don't
one's-
talk about him enough, and I'm not going to belabor this, but Justin Haley's having one of the best. I know he's not a rookie because he has a lot of starts, but his best full-time season, quietly doing everything he should do as a young driver. So
Either way, I think Colleague is winning this race.
really, did you go to dinner with Chris Rice?
No, but
Okay, I was just asking.
Colleague?
but I'm gonna have some brewskis with AJ Allmendinger this week. So
Do you want to tee up my pick? Because you already know who it is. I'm
Oh
locked
yeah,
in.
listen, we already know.
can I get this solo over here, please?
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh boy.
We are to our final road course race. And at the beginning of the year, the three of us sat here, and this one to my right bombarded me with how Austin Cindric was going to get 2 wins. I didn't know where they were going to come from. He got a Daytona win, 500, amazing. I'm like, okay, where's this second one going to come? Oh, road course for sure. Well, we're out of road courses, so she doesn't have a choice. She has to pick him, unless you want to concede this W and just give me the win and say you were wrong from jump.
I don't.
Okay.
For the record, you should have brought me in because I would have told you the Daytona 500 is worth 2 wins. But just saying.
It's not worth a road course win. No, it doesn't count.
Okay, so I'm
That's
picking-
awesome. Does it count?
I don't like this pick. This is not who I technically would probably pick this week, but I'm going to stick with Austin Cindric because now I can't say that I'm wrong.
So wait a second. So we all just picked with an asterisk?
Yeah.
You did too, so.
You know what that is? That is the 2022 NASCAR season in a nutshell
Yeah,
right
it's
there.
been
Because
so
I'm going
much
to tell
fun.
you, if you had Harvick at Michigan, you're smarter than me. If you had Suarez at Sonoma, you're smarter than me. Like surprise.
The asterisk. Pick who you want. Just pick who you want to win Watkins Glen. It is the precursor to the Daytona regular season finale race. But Watkins Glen, we're going to start the end of this regular season with a road course. 2 races left. Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern on USA. Steve will be in the booth, WWE, for he and Jeff Burton.
No. Radio style this week. Tune in.
Yeah.
We got the bagman up the S's, Dale Jr. in the bus stop, Jeff Burton in turn 7 and 8. Me and Rick are going to hold down the booth. So it's going to sound a little different. And every time the bagman, there is nothing better than the bagman calling the action as they climb the hill at Watkins Glen. So excited to have him back on the broadcast.
We do love the bagman. Tune in, 3 p.m. on Sunday, and we'll be here next week, as always, to break it all down before we head to Daytona. Thanks for tuning in, Backseat Drivers. We'll see you. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more clips, highlights, and full-length episodes. Also, check out NASCAR.com to stay up to date with all the latest news.